In this video, I'm going to share with you a universal key to unlocking your potential. This insight is the catalyst to limitless growth and transformation. Whether that is scaling your business to $100,000 a month, attracting your dream partner, attaining your physical prime and strongest physique, I'm gonna leave you with the knowledge that can solve all problems in any area of your life. But 99% of the time, we wanna change something about the real world, the things we can touch, see, and feel. But the physical world is a byproduct of the unseen world, our state of mind, frequency, and essence of being. But before I help you unlock the potential of your mind, I need to share with you one critical insight that is keeping you trapped in a reality you can't escape. We need to first understand that when we are struggling to see change, we are at a lower frequency of being, battling old habits, limiting beliefs, and the same useless story not getting us anywhere. This reality is a product of unconscious creation because no one in their right mind wants to remain on a karmic loop and suffer doing the same old stuff that's not serving us. One of Carl Jung's most famous quotes about the unconscious is, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." Now, why did I use this quote? And why did I title this, "Do You See the Signs? Using Patterns to Unlock Your Limitless Potential?" Because I believe that when you start to see the signs, the patterns, the synchronicities, this signifies a higher level of awareness, a greater understanding of the game at play, and how that we are more similar than different, that the experiences we have are actually patternistic. If you've heard the word fractal, we can use that as well. But essentially, it's the idea that everything we're experiencing is coming from the same source to some degree. And when we understand this, we can start to look over the boundaries of separation and division and find truth and understanding to serve us in a direction of creating a better life for ourselves. Now, when we attain this higher level of awareness, we attain a higher level of mind, an elevated mindset. When we have an elevated mindset, we can start to leverage boundless creation. We start to unlock our power as a creator, no longer victimized by our past, and expanding beyond the boundaries that used to hold us back, which allow us to create more for ourselves, to do more for ourselves. Now, attaining levels of growth comes from overcoming these loops, these cycles of life we unconsciously participate in without awareness or conscious change. Now, you need to understand that to some degree, you get what you give, which is why I put this scale of some emotions with different energies. Because if we learn to overcome certain patterns and behaviors in our life and start to replace those things consciously with things that serve us and put us in a state of gratitude and appreciation and joy, you are going to attract more of that into your life. And on the next page, you're going to see a graph about energy and these spirals that impact your daily life, whether you're aware of it or not. So keep an eye out for that. But if you're seeing this and you're in a state of lust, pain, victimization, suffering, shame, and guilt, you are going to attract more of that life because that is your resonant frequency. Those are the harmonics of your body, your thoughts, and emotions that are creating that experience for yourself. So we need to take the unconscious things that are not serving us, whether that's smoking weed, eating unhealthy food, drinking, staying in a toxic relationship, staying in a toxic environment, and we need to change that consciously. If we remain unaware of patterns, your mind will remain stuck on a pendulum of back and forth. These games of us versus the world that keeps feeding that endless loop of the same old story, no progress, stagnation, constant blame and deflection onto the external world. Now, what if I told you that we have daily battles with ourselves that keep us stuck in place? Our relationship with the gym, romantic partners, substance, parents, and work, these are all areas of our life that could keep us stuck and no longer experiencing evolution because we are attached to a certain behavior or outcome we're trying to force from this situation. But these are areas of our life that we can find certain patterns and the behaviors we're participating in, consciously change, and we will no longer fall victim to the things preventing us from obtaining a new level of life. One of the most important things to understand is that when life doesn't go our way, we repress versions of ourselves that we are trying to protect from that pain and suffering. Let me give you an example. In 2022, I was $80,000 in debt. I got cheated on. I was smoking weed and drinking way too much. I was numbing myself with food. There were 101 things in my life to be ashamed of. The more I judged myself and blamed myself, the deeper I spiraled and fell into my own personal hell. Now, why do you think people say, oh, heaven on earth, hell on earth? That's because through the energetics of our experience, right, our thoughts and our emotions, we are actually creating these realities for ourselves unconsciously if we're in a lower state. But if we start to learn to do it consciously, we can naturally ascend into a higher state of awareness, a higher state of mind. We can unlock the things we want in our business with patterns. We can unlock the things we want in our relationships with patterns. We can use patterns to fix our eating habits and get in the best shape of our life. But if you look at this graph, you're going to see that there's an upward spiral and a downward spiral. Now, the downward spiral pulls you on this string of density because on the graph above, you saw that the states of shame, guilt, fear, insecurity, jealousy are lower frequency, meaning there are longer wave patterns in your experience, which is why it feels you're on a longer karmic loop or you just can't seem to overcome the same old story. But if we start to embody the traits of an upward spiral, we start to experience positivity, optimism, passion, love, empowered nature, joy, freedom. These things cause us to ascend. And we start to create a heaven on earth for ourselves because we are attracting more of that into our life. But looking back on my story, it got so bad, I had no choice but to see that this couldn't be me. The drinking, the smoking, the unhealthy relationships, the debt. Like a stone causing ripples through a lake, I realized that all waves come back to a source. At the end of the day, we are the source of the experience of life. Taking responsibility starts with loving yourself at your lows, the same as you would at your highs. Realizing that they each serve you in their own unique manner on your journey. I learned that our thoughts and emotions create our frequency and manifest our reality. That frequency and feeling are what is attracting more of these thoughts and emotions into our lives. I learned that growing and evolving starts with acceptance. That only when we begin to integrate that shadow can we truly make progress and ascend, or else we are leaving core parts of ourselves in the past. Now, what do I mean by this? I look back on a period of time, and there's a few things that I was very ashamed of. I was in a toxic relationship, I was smoking too much weed, over-consuming, and I was $80,000 in debt. These are things that were going on in my life that were not the healthiest for me. And I spent months, maybe even a year judging myself and blaming myself and keeping myself in this spiral into a downward hell until I realized it's okay. It's okay that I experienced that because look at all it's done for me. Look at the strength I found in the darkness. I have all these tools to pull myself out. Now all I need to do is act. Now all I need to take is the wisdom that I found in the darkness and use it to shape a better tomorrow. This is what I mean by making the unconscious conscious. Why was I engaging in smoking weed and drinking? Because I was shameful of things. The things I was shameful of, I stopped to do, so I felt less shame. Then I started to ascend, and I freed up my energy, I integrated parts of my shadow, and I was able to consciously create because I unlocked a version of myself that was capable, that had confidence, that was grateful that I made it out. And I started to leverage positive emotion to create an upward spiral of ascension. But I believe that the only way we can overcome these unconscious programs and battle our demons is by unlocking higher states of mind, states beyond our physical experience, beyond what we see in the mirror. They say that man was made in the image of God, blessed with the ability to create. So the microcosm, or the man, embodies the traits of the macrocosm, which is the universe, creation itself, God, whatever you believe in, meaning that the universal laws that govern space and time as we know it govern us in our own microverses or our own micro-universes, or the singularity, the realities that we experience as individuals. Now, there are three important concepts that I want to introduce you to help serve you on your journey to change. The first one is everything starts in your mind. Your imagination is the workshop for seeing a new reality, a world that you can create and manifest into the physical. The second one is as above, so below, and as below, so above. What happens on one level of reality also happens on every other level. This is the microcosm to the macrocosm. The man was made in image of God. This is the mirror principle, meaning your internal world will reflect your external world, manifesting your experience. This is why I showed you those two different graphs of energy in your emotions and how your thought patterns are actually creating your reality and sucking you into a deeper hell or thrusting you into an ascension of freedom and experience of bliss. The third one is every cause has its effect and every effect has its cause. Nothing happens by chance. The realm of effect in what we experience due to our actions is the physical plane. It is not the causal plane. The causal plane is the spiritual or the unmanifest, the state of mind that we manifest in the physical world, meaning change in the physical world starts with change in your mind. Everyone's seen this image. It's Adam reaching for God. But one thing everyone neglects to point out is that God is in the shape of a brain, and he is reaching back to us. It's important to realize that you embody traits of the Creator, and you can use these things consciously to overcome the unconscious, to overcome the shadow, to overcome the devilish nature that we participate in unconsciously. These are patterns and laws of nature that govern our universe, whether you like it or not. These are forces of nature that govern your experience. These laws apply to scaling your business to $100,000 a month. These laws apply to attracting your dream partner. These laws apply to creating your dream physique. There is no escaping the truth. The light reveals all if you let it. If you avoid looking in the mirror, your shadow will govern those areas of your experience. Meaning if you're too afraid to look at the things you are ashamed of, to look at the things that you know you shouldn't be doing in your life, that will continue to be your God and govern you. That is why we have the idea of the devil whispering things in your ear, the devil on your shoulder, getting you to participate in negative things. No, it is just your unconscious, your subconscious patterns that you have programmed, and we can totally change them. And that's the whole point of this video. These fundamental patterns and insights allow us to remove our ego, judgments, and fears of the world. They allow us to act in accordance with a grander truth and a purpose to living. Laws allow us to see patterns throughout our life and apply that wisdom to create change. We have these patterns to elevate beyond a certain level of reality governing our life, to unlock a new level of being that attracts and demands more from our experience, meaning that when you become aware that these patterns are governing you, you have no choice but to take responsibility for these behaviors and habits and use them to overcome and transcend to a new level of experience demanding more from yourself. These patterns allow us to uncover deeper truths about ourselves that serve us in pursuit of creating the life we desire. Here is a mindset that will allow you to unlock whatever you want from this life. If you want something more, you have to become something more. You must become someone new, someone deserving of what you want. And you do not get that by participating in old habits. You get that by overcoming them, challenging yourself, rising to the occasion, and demanding more from yourself. If you like this video and you want to see more, make sure to drop a like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.